Hey everybody, what is up? And we are live. I have no clue what's going on with YouTube, but it just put us into portrait mode. I was on Prism, I had to start on landscape mode, but we got this. We shall keep going and we shall overcome. Right now we are live from the Staybridge Streets in Northfield, Colorado, by the Main Street shopping center, which is right behind us. And know what? Let's go explore that area. And also another thing is, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear over the street noise. And for those who are wondering, the Staybridge Streets are an actual hotel suite that does include a kitchenette and 2 bedrooms. If you do book the suites. And also another thing which is really nice is you can actually stay pretty long term. From what I can tell, I'm glad to hear CGL. I do realize that it's pretty late on the East Coast, just because this is when the sun sets and when it's finally cool enough to go outside and to be able to actually explore without overheating the phone. So let's see what we can see. Bam! Look at this. So over here is the Staybridge Suites. It's so good to see you, CGL. How are you doing? Over here is the Staybridge Suites. In front of us is in front of us is the Main Street shops. We are actually going to give you a pretty rough idea of how long it would take to walk from the hotel all the way down to Main Street to the Main Street shops. And in case you are wondering, my household just had a major kitchen renovation, meaning that the entire kitchen literally got ripped apart, and there's a whole lot of fumes. So that is why we're staying at the hotel, and that's why I'm out and about on this Friday night. And by the way, this area is located pretty close to the Denver International Airport. I believe that if you go a few miles up, not up towards the mountains, but if you go a few miles that way, you will run into the Central Park train station. Oh hey, you will run into the Central Park train station, where you will run into the Central Park train station, where you can take the A line, where you can take the A line all the way to the airport. And now we got Sephora, got a buggy. Everybody went woo! Bam! We made it. I'm not sure what's going on over here, but it does look like there's some construction. And down the street, where you can see the little red glow, there was something called Zap Rose, which I thought was a pancake place, but it is actually an oil and diesel place from what I can tell. Please double check me. I am no ChatGPT or Google.com. And ignition. Bam. And we missed the light again. Yep, we be playing. We don't want to be playing Leapfrog tonight. So over here is the Wayfair shop, and we're going to go on down to we're going down to the Main Street shops, but over here, where we wait, there's actually right across the street from the Bridge Suites. Bam! If you look right across the street, very, very, very carefully. Hello, Positive Vibes. It's so good to see you. You will actually see a Five Guys, the Hello Guys, Great Clips, and Cuba. Cuba is absolutely delicious. However, the black beans are very, very sweet and can take some getting used to. They do put a lot of garlic sauce on the plantains and guacamole, and that is where we ended up eating tonight. The closest I've ever came to Cuba was when I was flying through Miami to go to Colombia back in 2017. And that's when I found myself pretty close to Cuba. Here it is, the iconic Northfield sign. Definitely not Las Vegas, and definitely not Disney World, but close enough. Hello, Papiotia. It's so good to see you. So here we go. Bam. Let's go. Let's take a little stroll on down. And here we go. So I'm curious, has anybody seen Denver, Colorado before, or the Northfield Shopping Center? I realize that this is no Main Street USA or no Disney World, but we got ourselves some places to look around. And unfortunately, this area is definitely not as touristy as one might expect. But the fortunate thing about this area, even though it's not very touristy, there's a whole lot of conveniences, such as your super Target to the right. And if you look up in the sky, that is a cloud. And if you look down on the ground, that's a street. And if the streets flip on over, then I recommend that you start swimming or screaming for help. Hey, good evening, Gizmo. It's so good to see you. Right now we're out and about. Right now we're just out and about again, out and about in Northfield. Whoop! Duck, duck, goose. Mike, duck, duck, branch. I accidentally got whacked. I just got whacked in the face with a branch. Oopsies. So over here is a super Target where I believe that you can buy bamboo baby diapers. Whoop. And now we're talking whack it back, whack-a-mole, Mike, whack-a-branch. Holy guacamole, and here it is. Woo, there it is. Not sure what's going on with this camera. Thank you everybody for your continued patience. And here it is, the one and only, the backside of Disney World, Main Street, USA. So far, yet so close, the iconic Disney Arch. Whoop. Here it is. The ninth window of Denver, Colorado. Whoop. It just felt like we just went right into Disney World. To be very honest, I've actually not explored this area before. So this is our very first time. This is our very first time walking around, and that's why I love bringing all of you around. Most times when I visit a place for the first time, I just love to document it. And honestly, when it comes to documentation, I just really love to have it as a live stream. The reason being is this is the closest I can get to a continuous home video due to storage space on my phone. Here we go. We got ourselves the Rocket Fizz. Bam. Whoa. All we need is an Astro Boy, and that would be complete. So we got ourselves a Rocket Fizz, Soda Pop, and Candy Stump. And inside they do serve some very strong sodas, including grass flavored root beer. This is actually a pretty popular store in Colorado. And what I've noticed about Rocket Fizz is that it is pretty popular in Breckenridge, and it is also popular around the Denver area, which is why you see a lot of Rocket Fizzes out and about. Whoa, so much stuff in there. Boop. At some point, I would love to get myself a gimbal. This way we can have an even smoother and crispier image. From what I can see, there's a lot of empty spaces and there's a lot of empty stores out here. Yep, here comes the creep. Yep. Here comes the creepy robot voice. Yep, same here, Gizmo. No, thank you. I have my limits. So sometimes when you're walking around, especially if you're exploring the areas with construction, you'll be hearing a lot of creepy robot voices that say, "Thank you for shopping with us." This used to be the Sky Medicine and Supply Center. Not sure what's going on with that. Definitely seen better days. Hey. Oops. Yep, Wayfair be hiring. Yep, looks like we have a chance at getting a job. Hiring this way, hiring fair. And we might have missed it just because of how fast jobs fill up. Sometimes the moment that the business drops a job, kabam, 300 applicants, kabam, within the first hour, 300 people apply. And here it is, the one and only Wayfair being constructed, awaiting fall 2026. Happy fall, Halloween. Oh, look, and here comes a hawk. A hawk flying overhead into the sunset. Thanks for shopping with us, hawk. Yeah, what really surprises me right now is just how quiet it is. Hey. What really surprises me is just how quiet it is lately. I honestly thought that there would be. that would be pretty packed with people just at the Cherry Creek shopping district, and also Gizmo is asking, what is Wayfair? Wayfair is a furniture and home goods store similar to IKEA and very very similar to, I believe, Macy's too. Macy's Furniture Gallery. Also, hey, right over here is the H&M, aka the Haunted Mansion. This is what we call the knockoff Haunted Mansion. I know it's not. I know it's definitely a very anticlimactic answer. If I had my say in it, I would make Wayfair a second. I would have made Wayfair the 5th Disney World park. Not the 5th, but I meant the 3rd Disney World park I would have made Wayfair the 3rd Disney World park in the United States. And I do apologize for my stutter tonight. Sometimes my stutter is worse than most nights, and unfortunately, that makes me sound pretty annoying, unfortunately. And I'm also pretty autistic, so I do repeat myself a lot. That's one of the very many wonderful traits of autism that cannot be cured. Because autism cannot be cured because due to it being a neurological / chromosomes, due to it being a neurological disability. Same with apraxia of speech. So over here, we got ourselves the famous goodbye arch. Oh, long live Disney World. Whoop. So note, let's see what we can see down here. I'm curious. Okay. Unfortunately, this is not turning out to be quite as interesting as one would have hoped. I would have definitely loved to stumble across some live music, and honestly, hello John, it's good to see you. Woo! And honestly, when it comes to stuff like this, even if it's a mega disappointment, I'd rather be able to capture the reality of what's going on versus sugarcoating what's going on. Especially on a Friday night in a supposedly busy shopping plaza. Hello Jalen B, it's good to see you. We're definitely going to walk around for a bit. And over here, actually over here, looks like we got some really good news. Looks like they're going to be putting in like a picnic field, some shopping centers, and a lot of nightlife. So we definitely got it. So once this project is done, the Avenues project is very similar to what's going on with 16th Street Mall in downtown Denver. We're definitely going to come back and see if we have a better chance of capturing the bustling action of Wayfair. Not of Hollywood, that's a movie town, but of Wayfair. And it's going to be a community experience along with a cultural experience similar to Disney Springs. One can only hope. How are you doing, Jalen? And that's right, Jalen. Denver is the capital of Colorado. Do you know that Blackhawk, Colorado was supposed to be the capital? Unfortunately, due to the gold rush's collapse, Blackhawk completely lost all of its popularity, and which resulted in Denver being the capital. Also, let me know if you need me to slow down what I'm saying, because I do have a supersonic, supercaloric expidiential speech pattern. Thank you, Jalen. And here it is. Massive mega construction. Another thing I recommend, especially during the replay, is actually setting your YouTube to 0.25 the speed. This way you can hear you can hear everything I have to say. Hey, good evening. So here we go. Restaurant district time, bam. Whoa. Boo to you. And here it is, the Oogie Boogie Bash, kind of. This is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. This is Halloween. And right down here, we got ourselves the 3 margaritas. And at 3 margaritas, what I find interesting is that you only have 3 margaritas. By the time you drink your 3rd margarita, you're cut off. That looks so good right now. Unfortunately, we might experience some lag fest. Yeah, just because we were going through some pretty tall and thick buildings. But if you look very carefully, this is actually the Zen sushi place, the Asian sushi grill. Hopefully it gets really busy for everybody once the construction is done. So here we go, we got the main Gestapo, and let's cross the street to see if we can get to Lululemon. Whoa.
Are you on Instagram Live?
Yes, I'm on YouTube Live. Do you want to say hi?
Yeah, I'll say hi.
Hey, this is YouTube Live. Hi. Do you have a YouTube or Instagram that you like to share?
Slash for lashes. I do lashes in Denver.
That's so neat. Do you mind if I zoom in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so for slash or lashes, I'm curious, what kind of lashes do you do?
Exotic lashes, all types of lashes, everything.
That is so neat.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, do you know the Denver's Gold Club by chance?
The what?
The Denver's Gold Club.
No.
Denver's Girls Club?
Yeah,
No.
I was curious because when you said slash or lashes, it reminds me of the name of one of the sponsors.
Oh.
Yeah, they are like a group. It is an organization that meets a few times a month, and they're on Instagram as Denver's Girls Club, and they meet at 38th 38th Street Bar.
Ooh.
I feel like I've heard of them.
Yeah, I think I've heard of them too.
I feel like that sounds
Yeah.
familiar, but I'm not too
familiar. I'm gonna have to check them out.
Yeah.
You do, it's okay. Do you have an Instagram?
Yes, mine is brows.stephanie.
That's so
So I
neat.
do eyebrows.
Do you all three do brows?
We all do
Lashes,
I do lashes.
brows.
Lashes, brows.
That's awesome. And also I know it's kind of a weird question, but do you do laser brows by chance, like feather brows?
Oh, me. Yeah.
Sweet, that's awesome. Do you have business card by chance?
Actually,
She got a business
Nice,
card.
awesome.
That way.
I
This
do.
is the QR code, but that's my name and stuff.
Thank you so much.
And
And
right here. We're literally down right here next to Zen.
that is so awesome. I'm curious. I know it's kind of a strange question. You don't have to answer, but I'm curious about what do you see for the future of this shopping district?
Oh, it's gonna be poppin'.
It is.
It's gonna be a coffee shop. It's gonna be super cute. Coffee shop.
This is
More.
slash for lashes.
Thank you so much. And honestly, the reason why I like coming down here and documenting everything is so I can showcase, so I can have a living record of the progress that's going on in Denver and how Denver changes since I was a kid.
Yes, you're from Denver.
Yes, I was actually adopted in Yangzhou, China. I came here in the year 2000. Came here in 2000, and that's how I ended up here.
Hell yeah.
Oh, where did you grow up? What part of Denver?
I grew up by the Denver Zoo.
Oh, okay.
It's awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
Uptown.
I grew up in Park Hill too, so.
That is so awesome.
Yes.
I'm honestly, the thing that really shocks me is just how quiet it is tonight.
Yes.
So quiet.
I thought I was going to be popping, so that's why I was coming down to see what was going on.
You gotta go
It's
to
early.
Denver.
Well, yeah.
Denver.
It's a little
You gotta go
early.
downtown for that.
Yeah,
5 points.
sweet. What happens in 5 points?
A lot.
5
There's a bunch of little pop-up bars. There's hot dog stands. There's a bunch of little
South
things
Broadway
going on.
has all the dive bars.
That's so good.
This is pretty quiet.
That's
This is pretty chill. Right now, because of the construction, it's very quiet.
Okay, I didn't know that the construction was getting it very quiet.
It'll be done. They told us it will be done. It will be a grand opening for the holiday season.
Nice. I'm definitely coming down to showcase holiday season.
Yeah, there's gonna be a tree, a massive Christmas tree.
Whoa.
They're gonna unveil and everything.
Also, by the way, my YouTube is Tony Otao, and that's where I keep all my archived Denver footage.
Yay! What is it again? One more time.
Tony Otao, TonyOTOWER.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I go by the name Tony, by the way.
Tony, nice to meet you, Tony.
You
Stephanie.
too. Aw, thank you.
Yes.
Nice to
Sweet.
meet you.
And before I forget, do you have a favorite place to go, like on a Friday night?
Here
Yes.
or anywhere.
Here or anywhere?
I like Retrograde. It's a little speakeasy bar, a little cocktail bar,
Sweet.
or Forget Me Not in Cherry Creek.
Wait, last year or where did we go? Where did we go?
The Crypt.
The Crypt. The Crypt is
Crypt,
good.
if you're-
The Crypt.
I'll
I
turn
love
it
that
If
in
you're
all
like
our-
into like spooky
Metal
stuff,
works,
the
cool
Crypt
too.
is a really cool bar.
That's on you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, you
And if
too.
you're curious, I'm actually going down this way to see what's going on by the free margaritas.
Okay, yes, it's good. If you haven't tried it, it's pretty good.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you. I'll keep your business cards,
Yes, of course.
and I'll add you on Instagram.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. That was so awesome. I love meeting people. I love meeting people in Colorado. And I also do love archiving what's going on in Colorado, especially when it comes to constructions. We'll definitely be down here for the holidays to see the entire plaza be unveiled. And here we got some music, so here it is. So here's what it looks like before. This is what the plaza seems to look like before the construction makes its way down here. I was really, and what the heck's going on with YouTube? They were, one moment everybody. Alright everybody, one moment. Lag monster. Alright everybody, we are back. Sorry, I do apologize for the lag monster. But here it is, the plaza before the construction creeps its way down here. And what I can definitely envision when it comes to this construction area is just like what they're doing to 16th Street Mall, is that actually making it so that it is completely colorless and walking and foot traffic only area, which I'm actually very excited about, just because it should bring in a lot more traffic and a lot more bustle. This is what it currently looks like without all the construction tops, and in front of us is a little playground from what I can tell. Just as a heads up, especially if you're new to Colorado, hello Mark, it's so good to see you. There's a lot of really strong UV light, which unfortunately heats up playground equipment and a lot of rock structures. So during the day, these can be sizzling and toasty. And underneath my feet is actually very soft padding, which is a huge sense of relief. It is definitely very lovely to be able to walk around the soft padding, especially if you have younger people wanting to play on the play structures. Same here, Gizmo. Aww. Regardless of the Hot Topic, do you know that Hot Topic used to be a golf store that actually sold a bunch of golf-related merchandise? A few years ago, Hot Topic actually did morph into an anime and fandom shop that does feature a whole bunch of anime and a whole bunch of horror. Oh my gosh, I can't speak tonight. A whole bunch of horror appeal. So let's see what we can see. I know we can't get too close. I know we can't film inside, but this is what some of the merch looks like on the outside. It definitely is, Jalen. So good to see you. How are you doing, Mark? This is actually an anime that somebody did introduce me to. I forgot the plot, but it looks rather interesting. Whoop. I do wonder if they still have any Five Nights at Freddy's merchandise or any like Halloween Horror Night. It definitely is, Jalen. That's why I waited to come out here until a little bit later. I was going to come here at 6 o'clock, but it was still scorching, it was still roasting, and I actually got my ears pierced at a Claire store in Times Square, New York City, 1201, March of 2009. So let's go see if we can find some better data on Wi-Fi. Welcome to our lives. I know, Mark, I'm wondering the same thing. They actually look more like mannequins to me. We got ourselves a Johnny's. Johnny's, I believe, is a shoe company. And there's one time when I mistaked a Spencer's for a Johnny's, and I was in for kind of a little bit of a shock.
And then I'll go crazy.
So we got our buckle belt shop. A lot of the shops from here, from what I can tell, do close at 8 p.m. So after 8 p.m. it's like hushy, really quiet. Hello, A9, so good to see you. How are you doing? And that's right, Jalen. Colorado does have, I believe, over 3 million people living in Denver itself, and it does have 64 provinces, what I find really neat. American Eagle, and here it is, the American Eagle. Back in 2009, if you bought $15 worth of merchandise, you could have your 15 seconds of fame on the New York Times Square billboard. I actually got myself 15 seconds of fame on the billboard, and I got myself $15 worth of earrings after I got my ears pierced at the Claire's. Oh my gosh, Michi's, oh my gosh, one of my very favorite frozen yogurt places ever, and here it is. Oh my gosh, this is what I think it is. This looks like it's the, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. This is the Yo-Yo anime shop. Unfortunately, I can't go in, but I can show you from out here. Whoa, this is amazing. This is an anime shop over there. It has anime food.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And we got ourselves the Harkins Theatres. I do believe that they still had Toy Story 5, and what's really, I do wish that we could go in, but I'm not sure what the filming policy is. But we can definitely. And I just wish I knew what the filming policy is. Otherwise, we would go right in. Over here, we got Higgins and a water fountain, which is actually very convenient, especially if you're roasty and toasty. It was literally 100 degrees today. Oh, here's my favorite frozen yogurt, Dimitri's frozen yogurt. Oh, my very favorite place on earth. Very favorite frozen yogurt place on earth. I used to get myself caramel, heath bomb, marshmallow toppings on Greek yogurt. If we could, we would definitely go and get ourselves some yogurt too. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like the data would hold up in any shops. We also got ourselves, let's take a closer look. We also got ourselves a Kung Fu tea. It is a Chinese, from what I can tell, it is a Japanese / Korean boba tea shop, and it looks like it's still open, maybe closed. But let's go take a peek. I couldn't agree more, Jalen. Aw, meat cheese. Oh my gosh, I love this logo so much. This is so cute. Aww. This is so cute. And that's exactly why I love coming to these downtown areas, just so we can see what's going on, and just keep a kind of a living record of what the businesses look like. Everybody loves Kung Fu fighting tea. Everybody loves Kung Fu fighting tea. Honestly, my very favorite thing to order at Kung Fu tea, I can tell, is the Lotus Tiger milkshake. And I'm curious, Jalen, what is the Harkins? And I couldn't agree more, Jalen. Here's what Kung Fu Tea does look like from the side at a glance. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love this so much. I love the Care Bears. My favorite Care Bear is the Lucky Care Bear because I love feeling lucky and I love when good luck happens. And if I was to get anything right now, I get the Tower Tantrum Slush, especially since it does have the crusty graham crackers on top. This is the kind of stuff I love seeing. Aww. That's so amazing. We got ourselves a massage parlor, the JC massage parlor. And if we keep on going down there, if we keep going down here, unfortunately, the data is not very great out here. Unfortunately, the data is hit or miss, which is why it's kind of a little blurred right now. Yep, that's right, Mark. Kung Fu Tea, fastest lightning, let's go, whoop! Hey, who are you?
Hi, Tessa.
Hey, I'm live on YouTube. Hey, it's Laura.
How are you?
Good. Do you mind being on camera?
Oh, okay.
Do you mind being on camera? I'm live.
You're live? Okay.
Yeah, do you want to say hi? Oh,
Hello.
hey. Yeah, if you don't mind sharing, what's your name again? Hola, it's good to see you. How do you know me?
Because you boys. I remember you boys.
That's so awesome. What's your name again?
Tessa?
Yeah.
Or mine?
Yes, yours.
Laura.
Laura! I have something called face blindness. I have a hard time recognizing faces and people.
Okay.
It was good to see you. Bye bye. Love to see you.
So, bye.
Bye bye. Nice to meet you.
Tessa.
I will. Heck yeah. Aw, that was so sweet. It's really wild. It's really wild running into people who you. It is really wild running into people who you know. Aw. And you know it's kind of a strange world out here for me, just because I do have something called Plaza painosis, which is called face blindness. And face blindness means that you cannot associate a face with a name. So even if somebody who has saw for 1 million times says, "Hey Tony, it's good to see you," I'm like, "Who the heck are you? How do I know you?" And it's like really strange, and it makes me come across as very cold, standoffish, and kind of a nasty person at times, especially in like that instance where I was like, "Who are you? How do I know you?" It's like I know your voice, and I can kind of recognize who you are based off your phone case. But if I've not seen you in years, I honestly have no clue who I'm talking to, which can be really strange, especially when somebody comes and approaches me for a hug. It's definitely a really weird world out there. Definitely a really strange sensation. And it's like imagine being dropped on an alien planet, and everybody's actually not an alien planet but a new city, and everybody seems to know you, but you don't know anybody. That is what it feels like being face blind, and that is part of my autism. Another thing that comes with face blindness is a very poor sense of direction, meaning that I can go up and down the same street and go up and down the same street 5 bazillion times and still not know where I am unless I'm either on the live stream or with a GPS. And because of how awesome people are, if you go into any business and say, "Hey, I'm lost," people will point you to the right direction, especially if you're in Disney World, Disneyland, or anywhere on a Disney property. So that is the honest reality. That is the honest reality of having face blindness. I couldn't agree more, Jalen. I'm curious, what do you like about the Marcolanda Crab Kung Fu Tea? This is beautiful. Hello, it's so good to see you, Buzz. How are you doing this evening? I realize that this is kind of an unusual time for me to be out here, just because it's a rare opportunity. Just because it's a very rare opportunity to showcase part of Denver that I'm usually not in. Unfortunately for me, I don't have a car. I'm not a car, but unfortunately for me, I don't drive, and that means that that it's very rare for me, and it's actually a usual time for me to be out. I realize that this is not a usual time. Damn it. About most nights. Yeah. Alright, I realize that tonight's not my usual night to be out. Just because I realize that tonight's not my usual. I realize that tonight is not my usual night to be out. Most times whenever I go out at this pretty random. Most times whenever I go out at these random times, it's because. I do apologize for the very unexpected lag fest, but we are back better than ever. Usually for me, I unfortunately do not drive or have a vehicle, which means I very rarely get to go out and explore these areas of Denver, just because of how inaccessible they are by bus. If I was to go out here, it would have taken me 2 hours by bus to get here. And it would have been that would have just been one way, but then if I was to go home, just because of how funky buses can get, the later it gets at night, instead of coming every half hour, the buses will only come every hour. So it would take us 3 hours to get home, which is why whenever I come out here, that's why whenever I come out here, I love to showcase areas of Denver that I very rarely get to visit. And I also do wonder what the stand used to be. My best guess is that it used to be a little man's ice cream. So let's walk towards the Sephora, because unfortunately the Wi-Fi goes a little wonky. Because the Wi-Fi gets a little wonky the closer we get to Old Navy and Outdoors Road. Over here we got ourselves a Lululemon. And you know it's really wild. I know it's kind of a strange thing I've noticed in some major cities, including Los Angeles. Is sometimes when people see that you're alive, they actually turn up their music very loudly in hopes that you get a copyright strike. That is a dirty little secret that I've learned. And the reason I let people know about that secret is just in case somebody's very noise sensitive, and in case somebody is very noise sensitive, and this way you can anticipate that there could be very sudden loud music blasting in your ears. So over here is our Lucky X Strike bowling place. I've not been to Lucky X Strike before, but I do know that that's definitely something you could do, especially if you're out here for a conference, or especially if you're out here for a conference, or if you're waiting around, not waiting around, but if you're actually staying in the state for a while between flights or have a very long layover. I'm not sure, but sometimes when I talk, I sound like a token and I'm like gobble, 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 gobble. Sometimes it does sound like that. There's gravel in my throat and I'm chewing gravel as I'm trying to talk. That's one of the major frustrations of a speech disability. And here it is, the infamous, the one and only P.F. Chang's. Over here, in here they do serve Chinese food. And what I really love is a $13 lunch specials where you can get a soup and the entire entree for around $13. That does not include tip or tax. But that is somewhere where I would love to go whenever I can. And what I find wild about P.F. Chang's is when I first started eating them, back in like the early 2000s, it used to actually be a fine dining restaurant where they had sugar snap peas and they would come out with all the sauces. But over the years, they renovated it to become a fast casual restaurant. I know, buzz woo, to the moon and back, woo, let's go, heck yeah. I'm not actually had tortilla soup yet, Buzz, but I'm curious, Buzz, where do you recommend to get tortilla soup? And over here, we got ourselves an outdoor road shop. Unfortunately, once you get inside the businesses, the data goes, which is why we can't really go into many businesses. And just to keep it very, very real, some nights my speech disability is worse than others. Oh, thank you, Jalen. He uses it so well. It is so good, especially if you should have seen the huge about we like thanks to Art by Nemad for the mystery box. Greatly appreciate it. Aww. And I really did love the mystery box that was sent by Nemad. I got myself a Stitch painting and a lot of Telltale bellhop goods. We actually got ourselves an improv comedy club, dinner theater, but as of now I don't see any showings. It looks like that they're wrapping up, but it looks like they're wrapping up unless they have an adult only late night comedy. That sounds so good, Buzz. And also when it comes to soup, especially potato soup, I do love piling on miles and miles and miles and miles of cheese. And if you're in denial, then you gotta try some more cheese. And here we go. Let's go on down, go rabbits, woo! Let's go back on down to 3 Margaritas, the home of the strong, strong data. I kind of wonder what this place is real quick. This actually looks like it's a fitness gym. It does say to visit our website for a complete class schedule, open 7 days a week. And yet here we go, somebody blasting our music again. Yep, this looks pretty interesting. It does look like a boxing place since I do see boxing gloves. I'm not sure what kind of fitness they do, but they do open at 8 a.m., 7 a.m. Definitely is Buzz to infinity and beyond. Woo! The most, and honestly, when it comes to French onion soup, I take a little French onion soup with my cheese. Oh, hey. Nike, find your greatness. Woo, let's go, greatness. Boom, boom, boom. And I also do apologize if I did come across as very frustrated about my speech disability tonight. Some nights, my speech disability is way worse than others. And let's go down the side since we went down the Sephora side. Already. This does remind me of the boardwalk in oh my god, I can't speak. Hello James, it's so good to see you. Welcome to the Hot Mess Express where I can barely speak tonight. It's like my words evaporated into the Twilight Zone. And this actually does remind me of the Disney World boardwalk. Whoa. The Golden Arch. If only we were in St. Louis, we'd be standing underneath the Golden Arch right now. More like the Golden Nike Arch. And I couldn't agree more, Jalen. Some of the best soup on the planet besides ramen. And you think that you're supposed to know, and you're supposed to get really excited, but then you have no clue who they are. So it's this really strange, awkward experience that kind of weirded me out. It's been weirding me out since 5th grade. And I also realized that talking about disabilities is very stigmatized too, which is why I talk a lot about my autism and a whole lot about what it's like being disabled, especially when you're out and about and exploring. I do apologize if there's some lag fest out here. The lag monsters do love socializing, even though it's not the haunted mansion. It's more like the haunted construction zone. And this is the kind of displays that catch my attention, especially since the boot modernism. To in the kabam, there goes the signal. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The moment that I walk up to a window, bam, there goes the signal. Tough luck. Oh my gosh. And you know what's funny is the very moment that I have the very moment that suddenly captures my eyes or catches my attention, bam, there goes your Wi-Fi. Tough luck, Tony. Ha 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 ha. All them grim ghosts be laughing so hard tonight. HMM, that's right. Oh yes, HMM, the haunted mansion for Wi-Fi signals. And you know what really messes with your head the most? You know what really messes with your head is when Prism is showing you that you have a very weak signal. But then, what really gets to me the most is the fact that even though Prism shows you that you have a weak source signal, you have 5 bars of data. And I'm like, that discrepancy is unreal. I'm like, whoa, what the heck's what the heck's going on? Yep, especially when you're out in front of the haunted mansion, the HMM, when them odd and grim ghosts come out to socialize just to play mind tricks on you and your device. And there's only one way out, and it is my way. Ha 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 ha. And it's totally okay, James. We're in a really hot mess express situation right now. We're actually in the Northfield Mainstreet shopping center. We did meet some people who run an eyelash business, and they said that once the construction is done, which I'll show you right behind us, once this construction is done, bam, this place is gonna be popping and hopping, especially during the holidays. And during the holidays, they're actually going to debut the new Plaza with a gigantic Christmas tree. Hopefully we can be here, and hopefully we have a gimbal by then. This way we can do this. This way we can do the shopping center landscape justice, not horizontal justice. Because horizontal, what goes up must come down, and this is honestly not the best or the prettiest view, to be honest. Especially when we are landscape. But when we are horizontal, kabam, that's when the shopping center lives up in its fullest and most beautiful glory. Same with all of Denver, Colorado. And that is exactly why I do enjoy going live on YouTube, just so I can get just so we can see the full picture of everything instead of a very narrow view. And unfortunately, because of a glitch on my phone, of course, we got ourselves a landscape. And that's why we call tonight the Hot Boiling Mess Express. We got ourselves some Texas to Brazil. I kind of wonder what they're serving there. Hi. Hey. Texas, Brazil. I kind of wonder what this place is. Wow. Looks like it's closed for the night, unfortunately. And let's take a little peek in. Boop. Let's see. Where's the cameras? So this does look like it's a pretty fine dining. This does look like Come on, Prism, don't fail us now. Prism, don't fail us now. And you know what's really interesting is it does look like it has some Chinese decorations, and it's some place I would love to try. It looks pretty fine because of given the amount of glasses, the photo napkins, and I'm guessing a plate would run around $100 there. And you know what's kind of ironic is the moment that we begin leaving the shopping center, kabam! That's when we get this strongest force of Wi-Fi. The moment that we have nothing else interesting to see, bam! The grim ghosts leave us alone. Them lagmost monsters. And it actually does look like it's popping. That was most likely the private dining room that we were looking at. Well, definitely a very bustling restaurant, unlike the Hollywood Tower Hotel. And yep, thanks for shopping, thanks for visiting, and we'll see you next time. Hasta la vista. Hi, good evening. All right, let's see where the heck we are. Where the heck are we? We came in one side, and now, where the heck are we? Yep, this is definitely the wrong entrance zone. We gotta go back this way, back through there, because I don't remember seeing the lights going out. And this is the beauty of being very directionally challenged, because you have no clue where you are 99% of your time. Yep, welcome to being directionally confused. However, I do remember that the hotel I was staying at was actually nearby a Target. So let's see. Note. Whenever we lost, we just go in a very straight line, and off to Neverland we go. And here's something. And yep, that's the sound of me being lost. So note. Let's dig ourselves into a hole. Go back into the shopping center and see if we can come out another end. Yep, that's what I do whenever I'm lost. Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you know what the Target is?
Target?
Super Target, please.
Target shopping center, you mean?
Yes, please. That's where my hotel is. So, there was one time when I was literally, so this is what we do. We just go back in, dig ourselves into a hole. And we just keep digging ourselves deeper and deeper and deeper into the hole until we end up at Epcot.
There is no Target close to here.
Okay, I thought there was a Target shopping center right down there, down the street.
No, in Wishte.
Oh, being over you.
It's okay. I'm so confused.
Yeah, 6 miles.
Can you show me? It's 6 minutes.
Yeah, 6 minutes to walk.
Alright, so I go straight.
Go straight and yeah.
Alright, thank you
Turn
so
right.
much. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You just saved my night. Have a wonderful night. Alright, so that's what you do when you get very lost, especially in a very strange and unfamiliar setting. Then you know, this is what you do when you get lost in Disney World. You just keep walking in a straight line and walking towards what you think is Spaceship Earth, and then you realize that is that is the Hollywood Tower Hotel, not Spaceship Earth. And there was one time when we were actually trying to walk to Epcot. Lo and behold, I make 20 minutes out thinking that I'm one block away from Epcot. I look up and that is the Hollywood Tower Hotel. And I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? I'm like, what the heck? So I literally had to turn around and walk another 20 minutes back to Epcot. So well, that was so much for the full park challenge. And of course, that happened on the day where I had my full park challenge, and I only had 1 hour to get to Epcot. So there were 40 minutes of Epcot sadness. Welcome to my life. This is how we live our life. Lost, more lost. Well, we lost. Well, how did we end up in the Magic Kingdom? Well, we're supposed to be at Target, but why are we at the Magic Kingdom? Yep, welcome to my life. And thank you so much, Buzz. Thank you so much, Buzz. Hi, good evening. So yep, that's what happens when you get so lost, especially in a brand new area, especially if it's a parking lot. And some people might be, and I realize that some people might be, Tony, isn't this very, very dangerous? Shouldn't you not be doing this? Honestly, when it comes to being out and about, I only go out at night and these like in well-lit shopping areas or places that I know that I can call the police very easily. Or if I have a really good landmark like the Super Target. That's how I ask for help, and that is what happens when and that's how I navigate being very confused, especially if you get very worried about me being out and about in the dark, which I realize is a really good and strong worry to have, a very, very strong worry. For your safety, parking lots are recorded. And here we go. We got ourselves a Del Taco to Five Guys, which is a perfect landmark. And another thing I do remember is the hotel's right down, the Bridge Hotel's right there, along with the Five Guys. That's how I was able to find myself out of this. That's how I was able to find myself out of this situation. Especially when you get ourselves in a little bit of a sticky situation like just now. Well, unfortunately, I do have to get going. I do have to get going just because I forgot I have a phone call. I unfortunately do have to get going because I forgot I have a phone call, and I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. If you have not already, be sure to smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to Tony Hotel for even more Tower of Terror trivia tidbits, and of course, Denver archive and historical footage. And we will see you around next time. My phone be ringing. I gotta go. Batman's calling. Woo! Thank you so much, everybody, for being here.